Hello everyone, this is Graeme Anderson from Four Corners of the Board. Today I'm going to be looking at a little game called Deathbot Derby. Now I first read the back of the box. This reminded me of an old television show called Robot Wars, in which you get to build your own robot and send it into an arena to basically defeat the other robot. So that's a show that I have nostalgic memories of, so hopefully this will recreate that. Will it? Let's get to the table, see how it's played, then I'll come back for my final thoughts on Deathbot Derby. So here's Deathbot Derby all set up. We've got the arena cards, which will have hazards and bonuses on them, and I'll talk a bit about them when I talk about movement. There are armor cards, which will represent your first level of defense, and component cards, which will be drafted at the start of the game. You'll also get a robot meeple. To start the game, you're going to randomly place the arena cards in a 5x6 grid. All the arena cards are double-sided, and each have 2 spaces on them. You're going to place the 2 robot meeples on the opposite corners of the arena. Now each player will take an armor card, and they are all the same, just different colors. And they work just like all the other component cards. They all have a health stat. As the card takes damage, you'll rotate the card to mark the damage. When it reaches 0, flip the card over. Now the game is over when one player destroys all the components and armor on the other robot. Now, to start the game, the first player will draw 3 movement cards. Secretly take one and pass the other 2 to player 2, who will also select one and discard the last one. Then both players will reveal their cards. Then, player 2 will do the same thing for the ranged weapons and the melee weapons. And finally, the first player will do the same for the special weapons. But the special weapons are not revealed until they are used in the game, as they are a one-time use only weapon. Then we go on to the game. On a turn, each player has 2 actions, and each action can either be a move or an attack. Now to move, you have to look at the movement component and move up to that many spaces. You should note that when moving, you can only move orthogonally. That is, up, down, left, and right. There's no diagonals. You can pass over another robot, but you cannot stop on another bot. Any obstacles that are on the arena cards are resolved immediately. And let's just quickly go through those obstacles. You cannot pass or shoot through a wall. A speed belt will give you 1 extra movement, but you cannot go in the opposite direction. A buzzsaw will do 1 damage to your movement card. A bomb will do 1 damage to you, and then you flip the arena card over. And a power-up will repair 1 damage, and then again you flip the arena card over. The other action you can do on your turn is an attack. You'll pick which one of your attack cards, check the range, and range works the same as movement. Up, down, left, right, that many spaces. Your damage, unless otherwise noted on the weapon card, will always go towards the armor card first. When that armor card is destroyed, the attacker can assign the damage as they see fit. Another action a player can do on their turn, as a free action, is to use their hazard card. And it can be used up to 4 times during the game. The player will roll a die and flip the matching arena cards over. If any bot is now on an obstacle, resolve the effects immediately. The other free action a player can do on their turn is to use their secret weapon. It is a one-time use, and you'll just follow the instructions on the card. The game is over when one bot has its armor and all its components reduced to 0, and the other bot is then declared the victor. Now let's get back to the table to see what I thought about Deathbot Derby. So, did it live up to my expectations? You know, each group that I played this with, or each person I played this with, we always came back to the same feeling about the game, and that was, it's okay. I mean, there's nothing really majorly wrong with it, but I don't know. The game only takes 15 minutes, and quite often what it devolved into was moving and attacking. Now, I know that's the main mechanisms of the game, but with only having 2 actions, you can't move, attack, and move. So you're either attacking and or moving. So for example, if I'm too far away from you, I'm going to move into range and then attack you. And I found that the range for the weapons, there wasn't a lot of difference. So there's no way I could kind of be out of your range where you could not attack me. So I would move and attack, and then if you were out of range, you would move and then attack me, and then I would attack you and maybe try and move away. And you know, it was just sort of this back and forth, just kind of waiting to see which robot would be the first one to die. And that gets kind of repetitive after a while, and it really wasn't engaging. Now, there were a couple of things I did like about the game. I did like the secret weapon. I thought those are very fun to use, that you kind of spring it on someone. They can either be an attack or defense. So I liked how you're kind of holding that back and deciding the best time to use it. I also did like the havoc mechanism where you roll the die to flip over the tiles. That can either work for you or against you. The actual obstacles on the cards, on the arena cards, were interesting. I don't know how helpful they were. It would be nice if you could do more pushing or pulling to try and get people onto those obstacles. But there wasn't really enough that I felt for this game that it just, like I was saying before, it just kind of devolved into move, shoot, move, shoot, move, shoot. And even after 15 minutes, I've had some people who just said they were bored by it. And to be bored by a 15-minute game is not the highest of praise. But I could definitely see how this is going to appeal to someone. If you were going into work, or you just, you know, you had a very short time to play kind of a quick battle game, this might do it for you. But for a game night, I can't see this coming out. I mean, this really is your typical filler, just a very quick, you kind of look at the weapons you get, you make up a name for your robot, and that's kind of the fun of the game, and you just kind of throw them in the arena and kind of see what happens, see which is the last one to stand. So I can't really recommend this game. The art is okay, the components are decent quality. I mean, it's basically a deck of cards with the 4 robot meeples and a die. That's it in the box. So it's just sort of a meh game for me. And that's really all I can say. So until next time, thanks for watching.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.